Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Random Rants with Random. Well, it's been my turn to have a day of it today. I'm up on the tablelands to go for a ride and, hello cockhead. And I wheeled Katie off the ute and the front tyre was flat. And I know people are going to say, well, didn't you check the tyres before you came? And yes, I did. On the way up, I pulled in at the servo and the front tyre was down to 12, which I thought was a bit. So I pumped it up to 20. And then the back tyre was down to 16, so I pumped it back up to 18. And I thought, well, it was holding air and I've just pumped it up. So what's happened? So I quickly put it back on the ute and raced back into the nearest town. But by the time I got back there, it was too late to get a tube if I needed a tube or any of the tools. So I thought, stuff it, I'll just head back to Mum's and see if I can fix it tonight. So I knew I had a old tube at Mum's, so I found the tube, but what I didn't know was it had a hole on it. But also what I didn't know, it had me little gadget that I've been missing for about 10 years. I've been wondering, wherever did I lose my little fancy gadget? And you may ask, why is that gadget so fancy? Well, when you remove the rubber cap, you can pull your valve stem out and clean the rubber, even put a bit of rubber grease on there if you're really keen. But what I did find is, after thankfully finding my lost tool, was I pumped the front tyre back up on Katie and it seemed to be holding air. And I did the old spit or soapy water test on the valve stem and sure enough it was bubbling. So I used my gadget and the valve stem was loose and it worked its way really loose over time and was leaking fairly badly, obviously, to lose 20 psi in an hour's driving. So I screwed it up tight. I've pumped it up to 50 psi and it's been about 2 hours now. So it's down to 48 because I've checked it about 6 times. So I'm not going to check it again for a few hours, but fingers crossed it's fixed and I'll be able to go for a ride tomorrow. So what's the moral of the story, guys? The moral of the story is that's why you go riding on a Saturday, because if something goes wrong, you've got time to fix it and then you can go for your ride on Sunday. So it's all good. Katie's ready to go. I've done a video on prepping her for this weekend's ride, so she's all good to go. I'm unfortunately still not good to go, but I'm getting there. Riding a lot more than I have for a long time. Went from riding probably once every 2 years to, in the last year and a half, starting to ride once every 6 months. And then in the last 6 months, starting to ride every 2 weeks to maybe a month. So I'm getting there, guys. So we'll see how we go tomorrow. Keep it real on the back wheel.